Welcome to Stadium BS. For more information, check out www.castellonms.com.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. This is Frankie Castellon, the host of Stadium BS. Take a look at my website, www.castellonms.com. That is CASTELLONMS.com, where I'm selling everything, including the kitchen sink and my hair follicles. So check that out. I hope that you enjoy what I have online. I hope you enjoyed my previous episodes. I'm now hitting 34 episodes of Stadium BS, and I started this podcast back in August. And I enjoy this every step of the way, but also it takes a lot of work, a lot of passion, and I really, really do enjoy it. Now, the reason why I am introducing Kirth Dozier on the show, and he will be on in just a moment. I wanted to address something. During the last couple of months, I've been ill. I've been getting a lot of coughs. I've been getting a lot of viruses, strep throat, the whole nine, and it's subsiding right now, but you never know when it comes back. And I'm working on it to get better. I should be getting more rest, but I'm not. I've been working with other ventures in addition to my full time job, in addition to this podcast, in addition to raising my family, the whole nine. And I got to learn when to chill out. Now, does that mean that the podcast is ending? No, absolutely not. It's not ending. It's just the weekly basis is going to chime down, but I'm always happy for anyone to bring ideas to the table. On CastellonMS.com, there is a survey. You can chime in on what you want me to talk about. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can put that on it. References to what you want me to talk about, plenty of that. And if you have a great idea, you get a free hat. U.S. residents only. I will be more than happy to send you that free hat if you have a wonderful idea. It is on there, castellonms.com. You can feel free to contact me. My socials are there on the website. It is a link tree. Yes, it's right to the point. I rather have it right to the point. And feel free to get in touch with me. Before I bring Kirth Dozier on the line, I wanted to bring a sponsor on. It is Molly Bees. Molly Bees gourmet cookies bring creative, unique cookies straight to your pantry. No cookie shop required with bold, unforgettable flavors. They're the ultimate treat for any occasion. With that being said, I do have a promo code for 10% off any item you want. 10% off any item you want on the site, mollybees.com. That is MOLLYBZ.com. And use my promo code StadiumBS, all one word, StadiumBS. You see it on the screen in that fancy script I made. Stadium BS, all one word, for 10% off any item you want out of Molly Bees. My family has them. I've had them. My kids have them. And they're delicious, nice and gooey, and, you know, freshly made. Even though they're packaged, they do taste freshly made. Absolutely. So I would recommend them. Use my promo code Stadium BS. And without further ado, I'm going to bring out the Full Count Foundation founder out of Detroit, Kirth Dozier. It's been a real pleasure talking with him. I hope you enjoy the episode. and I will talk to you soon. God bless. Stadium BS is in the house. www.castellanms.com. Everything, including the kitchen sink and my hair follicles, is on sale. And I have a wonderful guest online with me. He is the founder of the Full Count Foundation over in Detroit. I got referred by Mr. Coach Andre himself. He is a social butterfly, and he's got me to meet so many people, wonderful people, and he's no exception. I have Mr. Kirth Dozier on the line here from the Full Count Foundation. Kirth, how are you?
I'm doing fine, man. Thank you for having me. How you doing
Thank
today?
you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So just to give a brief summary, tell us about your organization.
Okay. Well, I'm the founder and CEO of the Full Count Foundation. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization that works on serving kids in underserved communities throughout the world now. So we do baseball and softball as well as after school programming to give kids an option to learn sports off the field as well as on the field. So we just trying to bridge that gap between the kids in underserved communities and baseball, making sure that they get the same opportunities that a lot of kids do get.
That's awesome. That's wonderful news. I love the sound of that.
That's it.
Um, what got you into the game of baseball? What started it out for you?
What started off? Well, if we go all the way back, it started when I was a kid, just going to a neighbor's birthday party. I
Hmm.
probably was like 5 or 6 years old, but I remember they had a pinata there and playing the pinata game. And one of I believe it was her grandmother or something. I had
Hmm.
hit it, and she was like, "Do you play baseball?" And I was like, "No." And I remember going home and telling my dad, like, "Dad, I think I want to play baseball." And then from there, it wasn't no hesitation. He got me everything I needed, and I've been in the game ever since. So that's where it started. It.
Got a question since you're in Detroit. Are you a
Hmm.
Tigers fan?
Oh yeah, for sure. Always on support through the thick and thin.
Of course, I understand. When was your first Tigers game?
Oh man. So my dad it was a photographer for the Detroit Free Press, a sports
Hmm.
photographer for like 20 or 30 years. So my first Tiger game was probably around like 6 or 7 years old because he used to go take pictures of them. But
Hmm.
that wasn't my first baseball game. My first actual baseball game, I went to Yankee Stadium as a kid, around that age. And I used to remember I used to call them the Cracker Jacks. I used to think they would call it the Cracker Jacks for whatever reason as a kid. But that was my first time going to an actual baseball game. And then when I got back here, it was always going to the historical Tiger Stadium and going to see Tony Clark, Frank Thomas, all these different people who played in the '90s to play baseball. So I'm glad I got to be a part of that and go see that stadium.
Yeah, I love those memories. I'm like, you can't duplicate it to now. Back then, I used to go many times to Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium, the hardcore Yankee fans, and I used to go to Shea Stadium, and that was just as ruthless when
Yeah,
it came to their team, and it was just wonderful memories, like hardcore memories. And I could imagine Tiger Stadium. That must have been a wonderful experience going to that historic ballpark.
oh yeah, for sure. It was great, man. I just one of the memories that always stand out. They don't do it now. I just remember when people used to smoke in the stadiums, and I remember walking to our seats and people be smoking cigars, and they don't do that anymore. So I just
No,
thought
thank
that
God.
was
That's one thing I couldn't stand. I could not stand that.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's why I'm like, that's one of the reasons I just randomly picked the Oakland Has because that was the last place that had that character.
Hmm.
Even though it was a dump, it was their dump and
Yeah.
they loved it. And I'm like, it's now going up to a higher standard and they want to appease more of the higher customer.
Yeah.
That's a separate topic for itself. And going back to your foundation, I think it's a wonderful thing. Have you gotten any players that have gotten into college, have gotten into pro ball by any chance?
Well, yeah, so far, I started this foundation in 2016, and a
Mm,
lot of my kids have just graduated college within the last few years, or they're getting ready to graduate college. So we have over 70 kids that have played college baseball that came through the program.
Wow.
All the way from Clemson University, Jaron Purified. He's a captain of Clemson's baseball team. He plays with my program. We got University of Michigan, Marshall, Southern University, what's it? What else I'm missing? Jackson State, just a bunch of HBCUs and a bunch of JUCOs. So yeah, we've been doing pretty good the past 6 years since COVID of getting kids into colleges. So we have a lot of kids that are playing collegiately, but 100% of the kids that come through my program all graduate and go to college or some type of post secondary. So that's what I'm more proud of the kids just continuing their education after baseball and still, finding a way to make it happen.
That's wonderful. Jordan, does he still play at Clemson right now?
Jaron, he's yep. Right now, I think he just got back off an injury. He might have got back like 2 days ago. But yeah, he
Okay.
played second base for him. He's been the captain the last 2 years. He's a junior. Their coach over there was at University of Michigan when he was recruiting him. So he
Hmm.
originally committed to University of Michigan as an eighth grader. So that's how good this kid was. He was an eighth
Wow.
grader that committed, and the coach ended up leaving, going to Clemson, and Jaron was his guy. He took Jaron with him, so that's what he is now. But yeah, we
That's
got like the kids all over.
that is awesome. Yeah, I'm looking at his profile, Jerem profile, and I'm like, that gives me a reason to go to a Clemson baseball game at some point because I'm right nearby. I'm in
Okay,
Greenville, so
okay,
I'm a hop, skip, and a jump to Clemson University.
yeah. So
Now,
hopefully the goal is he get. I would love for him. I'm hoping he get drafted this year. We're going in his junior year. He's been having a pretty good season. He's batting over 300. I think he's leading the team in stolen bases and stuff like that. But he's
wow,
not the typical 6'3", 6'4" guy that can hit bombs all the time. He's a hard worker, man. I when I describe him, I like to describe him as the Derrick Rose of baseball for Detroit, because he's just so influential for the kids here, but he just plays with his heart on his sleeve, man. He doesn't take a play off. He is a great infielder, a great leader. So
mhm.
I think Lord willing, he will get drafted this year. But I definitely think that he's going to be playing Major League Baseball in the future.
Oh, I can believe that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And wouldn't that be nice to have him as a Detroit Tiger? He go from Clemson Tiger to Detroit Tiger. That'd be awesome.
Yes, I've been trying to vouch for. I put bugs in people's ear for, because I feel like he should have got drafted out of high school. He was the best player in the state of Michigan for his graduating class. That was like 2023. So, uh, he thought he was gonna get drafted. A lot of people did. I think he probably would, but he took his name out as the rounds got later. Just decided to go to college. But I
Which
definitely
is
think that
smart.
yeah. I definitely think the Tigers missed out on drafting him, not only just from a skill set, but just if they would have drafted him, I believe that if he were to get a shot to come in the majors, that he would get at least 2 to 3 thousand more people to come to the baseball game just off of the love of him in the city of Detroit. So I think it would be a
Absolutely.
great PR move for them to draft him, and it won't hurt them athletically either.
Well, if MLB is listening to this, you heard it from the man himself.
Yes, sir.
You gotta draft this man because he got it going on. He's a stud,
Yes, definitely.
very much so. Now like I said in the beginning of the show, and my audience, if they're following the podcast, I had Coach Andre as my, if I remember correctly, my third guest when it came to the impact of baseball in South Africa.
Mm.
How did that relationship begin with Jam Academy?
Man, it was kind of out of nowhere. It started last year. One of my mentors, someone who his kid that actually plays for me as well. His son plays at Marshall University. He used to always tell me, like, I need you to download WhatsApp. And at the time, like, okay, but I never done. Like, what do you want me to download WhatsApp for? So he eventually started telling me about this group that he was talking to about doing stuff in Africa. And at the time, man, my father had just passed away from cancer, and I was just looking for something to do. With just I didn't know what was going on, so I said, let me go ahead and download this app. So I downloaded WhatsApp, and then I ended up being on the call with Andre and Mr. Service and all of them guys at once, and man, they just told me what they were trying to do, and I'm like, man, this would be something cool because before this, I never traveled outside of the country. Well, I've been to Canada because Canada's like right next to Detroit, but I don't consider that going out of the country. But it was my first time, working with someone internationally, and I'm like, wow, I think I could do this. So that's pretty much how it started. He introduced me to Andre and the group on these calls, and then we just started constantly having these calls about what we could do. And then one day came, I forgot. I think I just called him like, Mr. Service, is this like real? Like, are you serious about this? And he's like, yeah, man, I'm serious. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what I'm gonna do next. And so I went and bought my plane ticket. I went. It was like super last minute. I had just got back from spring training with my kids. We do a media program down with the Tigers,
Mm-hmm.
and I had enough money just be like, okay, we're gonna get you a ticket. So I went and bought my ticket, and I called Mr. Service like, hey, I bought my ticket for South Africa. He was like, really? I'm like, yeah. And like I'm gonna go next month. This is in late February. He was like, how long you gonna stay? Like, I'm probably gonna stay for like a month and a half or something like that. He was like,
Wow.
wow. So that kind of it sped up the process. I don't think they were thinking I would buy my ticket that fast and all of that.
Mm.
Once he told me this was true, and I got to hear Andre's voice and Kevin's voice and Moses and all these different people, it made it really real for me. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and do my part. And history is made. Now we're here.
What'd you think of Cape Town?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think about Africa almost every day since I've been back. Like, so this time last year is when I came back to the States from there. I left in beginning of March, and then I got back like the second week of April back in the States. So I think it's beautiful, man. It's no place like it. As a kid, especially growing up in the neighborhoods in Detroit or just in the schools here, they don't teach you the real side of Africa. Everything is always what they show on TV, them being needy and needing something, but going out
Right.
there realizing that that's not the case. It's definitely not the case. And then you think of Africa, you think of like jungles or just deserts or something like that.
Yeah.
Cape Cape Town is on the coast, so it gave me like California vibes, but it also looks, inner city as well when you go to certain areas. So, man, I love Cape Town. I would love to move there in the future, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I've learned from social media, mainly YouTube. A lot of black entrepreneurs do jump out there. South Africa is one of them. Kenya's the other. I'm trying to remember the other one. There was one in particular. I can't remember, but it was like a big one.
Ghana or somewhere like that.
Ghana, yes, Ghana was the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're becoming the cities of the future for sure. I had my experiences, but not in Cape Town. I would love to go to Cape Town. I've been around the Johannesburg area.
Okay.
I have family out there. And now they're coming to the States. And I got my experience out there. I got to see Johannesburg in that vicinity, heading towards Pretoria. Got to see the countryside of it. I
Mhm.
liked it. I enjoyed it. I love the jacaranda trees. Those are beautiful out there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I want to get to Johannesburg on that side. Because when I was there, I got to work with a lot of kids during their NPC championships,
Yeah.
and the kids in Limpopo, man, I just connected with them, man, and they just needed so much help. I would see them out there trying and cheering their teammates on. They had so much high energy, and they weren't the best team there. They were probably one of the worst teams in the tournament, but you couldn't
Hmm.
tell by their energy. But their energy was just so contagious, and it was beautiful to see, man. Because in America, sometimes, man, we get our kids are spoiled when it comes to youth baseball sometimes,
Yes.
and then they don't get the opportunities that they're blessed with. So with the $500 bats or the $300 gloves and the sliding mitts and all of that, they think they supposed to have that stuff. When you go over there and you see kids playing catcher with a regular infield glove, or playing first base with a outfield glove, you like, man, I wish I could give these kids the simple things, because that's what they really, that's what they really need and they want and they appreciate it so much. So it's a difference, man. But it was great to see that the difference in all the communities. But I definitely wanted, the next time I go out there, Johannesburg and the Limpopo area is going to be where I spend majority of my time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I made a good friendship with one of the guys out in Johannesburg. He's running the Taipans baseball school out there in Joburg, and he's doing big things over there. And I've been with him every step of the way. That is episode 2 of that series, and he's a wonderful guy, and he's doing big things over in Joburg with baseball.
Mm-hmm. So how would you the Joburg scene? Is that like the Gauteng area, or what
Yes,
area? Okay.
yeah, it's a hot thing, Harry.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I seen. I like, yeah, they pretty advanced over in Gauteng as far as playing baseball. I didn't, like I said, I just didn't know what to expect over there at all. But
Me neither. No.
yeah, I seen that Cape Town was like, okay, they the top tier teams there. They pretty much got all of the guys that are
Yes.
next level. But then you say, at the tournament, it was Gauteng, it was teams like that. I think, was it Mandela Bay or something like that. I forgot the name of the other teams,
I don't
but
remember.
yeah, but no, they definitely play baseball out there. They just need the resources.
Exactly. And one of the things about the original purpose of my podcast was not to bash MLB, but to give insight of what's really going on when it comes to sports business and what the do's and don'ts of it. And it just, it evolved into people from around the world want to share their stories. Like I mentioned the South Africa stories. I also had one recently that a guy, probably around your age, he's running a baseball school in Cameroon.
Mm.
And in Cameroon, they have it's like a very little minority of them playing baseball,
Yeah.
and he's the major impact of it because he's played in Japan, he's played in Canada, and he wants to spread the message out to us like, okay, Cameroon is ready. Cameroon can be a force, and then we're connecting different relationship with different people that are trying to bring an African tournament to
Mm.
light. And we're talking about Nigeria, Cameroon, out in South Africa, probably Kenya, and
Sudan.
among other nations in that continent. So
Mhm.
uh, I'm doing my best in order to expose it. That it's it's coming out like rapid fire, especially with the World Baseball Classic ending.
Mhm.
It's I have a goal in mind that I will love to see South Africa not being a qualifier, but in the tournament, maybe going to a quarterfinal, to a semifinal, because they do have the talent out there. Is just the resources is sometimes scarce, and I'm just glad to bring that to light and help them out. And you're helping them out in every way possible.
Mhm. Oh,
What would be, and I ask this to a lot of my guests, with this foundation that you have and all the impact you did on America's youth, when you're an old man, you know that your last days are ahead, and you've accomplished so much. What legacy do you want to leave for the future, for your kids, for your grandkids, etc.?
well, for one, I don't have any kids yet, but as far as the legacy that I want to live on, I just want baseball within the city of Detroit to be prominent again, because football and basketball is king here, like most other states in the United States. But
Yes.
what a lot of our kids don't realize is that before we played baseball, before we played basketball and football, we were baseball players. Like it was a very, very strong baseball community in
Yes.
African American communities across America. So I wanna bring that back to where kids think it's cool to play baseball. Cause I know growing up, I played when I was growing up playing baseball in high school. It was a recession. I graduated in 2007. So at that same time, the city of Detroit was going bankrupt. So all of
Yeah.
the parks and rec departments and the everything was closed. They wouldn't take care of the park. So we really got the shit end of the stick. And from there, it hasn't been. It's gotten better, but not really how it should have been because it's not
Right.
people like me just doing what we supposed to do. So I just want to be a stronger baseball family. I don't want to. I'm tired of it's only 6% of African American players in Major League Baseball. I
Yeah.
just want to increase the numbers across the board from little league all the way up to the collegiate to professionals that our kids are playing baseball and that it's okay. Like we don't have to do everything that everybody else does. So I think that's the main thing, just making sure that I have a strong foundation here. And my goal with my foundation has been once we get everything going like we have, and those kids are graduated from college, I
Hmm.
want them to come back and I want to pay them. I want them to work for my nonprofit organization and put them in the position to help the next generation of players. So those kids that played for me that went to school and got their degree and maybe it's in marketing. Maybe it's somewhere I could help you out and give you a job and you could help me market the Full Count Foundation. Or if you want to be a coach or some type of sports management, maybe you can come help me coach these teams, or we could give you a team and we could support you and make sure that you're doing that. So I just want to make sure I'm providing an avenue for the next generation of players to continue to get to grow the game.
Absolutely. And that's what we're looking for. And there's so much out there that can bring the game to life more than I expected. And you're a big contribution toward that. So you should be very proud of what you've accomplished, not just stateside, but now on the other side of the world.
Thank you.
So that's something that you should be very proud of. You should be very what's the word? You should pat yourself on the back of what you've done.
Yeah.
And that's an absolute great thing that you're doing, and keep doing what you're doing. I think it's wonderful. I hope that Jaron gets drafted, and once he goes into pro ball, minor leagues, development, etc. Because I really think he will make it for sure. Um, he could reference back to the Full Count Foundation, and kids that are in that program to be like, I want to be like him. I want to be like him,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
now grow.
Yeah. That's the
I,
goal.
I really think it's going to happen for
Thank
sure.
you. Appreciate that.
And anything you need from me, let me know. I will be more than happy to help in every way possible. I did put your foundation on my website, castlonms.com. And if you need anything, let me know.
Oh yeah, appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on my show. I really do appreciate it. What I'll do is I will send you a copy of the episode that you can share with anyone, doesn't matter. In addition to when the show is going to be on, I'm going to probably aim you for next Tuesday and I'll be live.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure talking with you. Stay in touch. Let me know if you need anything.
Definitely. We'll be hearing from you soon, man. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, bye.
I'm a person that likes to wear fun t-shirts. I wear a lot of Marvel. I wear a lot of Star Wars. I wear maybe Simpsons and SpongeBob. And I like to get them through oldglory.com. Oldglory.com offers 300,000 items for music, sports, entertainment, and pop culture fans, featuring officially licensed merch from iconic bands to top sports teams. Discover your perfect fan gear and save with my exclusive discount at oldglory.com. So I found a couple things that I want to check out on the site, and they actually have the old school Marlins t-shirt. Not the one that's teal, but the one that they went into Miami. Welcome to Miami. So I'm looking forward to getting some of that, along with other items such as Yankees gear that I'm sad that they didn't make the playoffs, but I'll still get the gear. Get it at oldglory.com. And also use my promo code StadiumBS. You get 15% off your order. That is promo code StadiumBS for 15% discount out of the order. Check them out. oldglory.com. Check them out now while supplies last.
Thank you for watching and listening to Stadium BS. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow, and give a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform.